For the last 90 days, I have had a cold shower every single day. I will admit that I've cheated a little bit. So I'll have a hot shower first, and then I'll like turn the knob on the thing and turn it straight to cold. So to backtrack that a little bit, I have always heard a lot of, because I'm really into self-development, things like that. I've heard a lot about cold showers and cold plunges, ice baths, how good it is for mental health, how good it is for your body, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. I think once or twice I tried to have a cold bath and I was like, I cannot do this, except if it's like 40 degrees and like super hot. And like I really do need to like cool down because I am just like sweating and my body is on fire. And I've always thought that I couldn't do it because I tried it once or twice and I was just like, oh my goodness, it's so cold. And then in April this year, I thought, I'm going to try. And I tried it and I felt good afterwards. It wasn't, because in the past I'd put it on cold and I'd be like, oh. And I think for me, this is a really good way of like easing me into it, is to have a hot shower and then turn on the cold. Rather than just jumping in straight into a cold shower. The next step is to jump in straight into a cold shower or to do ice bath plunges and things like that. And the thing that I found is that it's just been easy. Like I haven't missed, I think there's only maybe 2 or 3 days that I missed it. And that was because I was in Melbourne. It was like super cold and I was running late and I forgot. But other than that, like I've always, when I've gone into the shower, I'm like, I need to have a cold shower. I need to have a cold shower. And when I have a cold shower, I feel refreshed. I feel just really fresh and really good. And this week, so I've been doing some training. This week, I learned that that is a form of exposure therapy. And I'm like, that makes sense, because one of the things I've been telling myself as soon as the cold water like blasts my body, and then I feel a little bit of a, because I'm like, moment, because my body's like, shh, is I've actually been telling myself, you can do hard things, you can do hard things, you can do hard things. Hard things are easy. You can do hard things, you can do hard things. Because I realized this desire is like this thing of like, tell me it's hard. I'm like, no. And the reason why I stuck on it is because I realized like, hey, I can use this to train my body to be okay with hardship and difficulties and things that feel uncomfortable. And then I always knew about exposure therapy. I think I might have heard of it, but like when that person just told me, it just like the connections in my brain happened. And I was like, okay, cold baths, exposure therapy. So that is the thing that I learned this week. And that has given me more of a drive to continue doing it. So how has my life changed? Not very much. I mean, I'm living in the sunny Gold Coast right now. So like, how could you not be happy, right? I think what was a true measure is actually doing this for 90 days in Melbourne, because in Melbourne, I was really feeling unhappy. So I think that's a true test to see how effective this is. I mean, you can't help but be happy in Queensland. Like the ocean's right there, the mountains are over there, it's beautiful, it's calm. I don't feel like people are racing around. Everyone's chill. I feel chill. Vitamin D with the sun and the ocean vibes, so healing, so good. Like, how can I not feel great? And I think that, I've had this business idea floating around in my head, and I finally made a commitment to explore it. And I think that is because of the cold showers. That is a product of the cold showers, because the idea of like running the business that I have right now and starting another business felt uncomfortable. And so by telling myself you could do hard things, And in feeling that uncomfortability, because the business that I have right now is service-based, low overheads, easy to manage. It's just me. I'm the input and the output, pretty much. But with the product, the other business is a product-based business. And so particularly after I decluttered my whole entire life, like all my physical belongings, like so much, I was like, I don't want to have more stuff. How am I going to make this work? I know that having product, because I still have all the product from my first clothing business 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, it's still like that's 10,000 or maybe 15, no, $10,000 worth of product, like just sitting there still for like definitely over 15 years, maybe 17 years or 18 years. I can't remember. So there's that fear of like, is the same thing going to happen again? And I think because, as my mentor would say, it's a good thing to think. She's calling me out on that because I do think a lot. Is that I've come to feel okay with, yeah, it might be challenging and that's okay because I can change my mind at any time, right? I mean, technically. So the cold showers have been benefiting me from that. I also have very low energy in the morning, and I have found recently that I have been drinking coffee to pep me up, also because for such a long time I couldn't drink coffee, even decaf. Like it made me nauseous, it made me want to vomit, it made me have a headache. And then all of a sudden, I think it's because I've been feeling all the good feels in Queensland. I drink coffee and I'm like, fine. And it's like caffeined coffee, like not decaf. And so I've been drinking coffee every single day to get my energy levels up. And having a cold shower makes me feel even more awake. Like it awakens my body. The other thing that I've really gotten out of having a cold shower for 90 days is feeling my body, because I have learned that so much of my being operates here. Like I just operate in my head. And I've also learned through another training that I've been doing the last 7 days, the importance of being in your body and feeling your body and how important that is to have mental well-being and health, to have that. And so having that shock and feeling that has been really beneficial. And I've been really surprised at myself that I've been having a cold shower every single day. And the Gold Coast ocean is pretty warm, but as we approach winter, the ocean does get a bit chilly, a bit cold. And so I've committed, regardless of how cold it is, that I will jump into the ocean once a week and submerge myself. And so there have been a couple of days where I've stepped into the water, I'm like felt that cold. And then once I'm fully submerged, I'm like, it's fine. I'm fine and I'm good. And it's felt totally refreshing. And my mind has felt like it's been refreshed. And we know that the nervous system runs from the brain throughout the body. And so I really do believe in that. And I think for me, like just my overall like mental well-being, like one of my family members was sharing to me that when they were in a psychiatric ward, that there was no hot water in the showers, there was only cold water. And I was like, oh, okay. And that made sense, right? Because we know that with cold showers, people's mental well-being really improves, or so the psychiatric wards think. And so do a lot of people on social media that I follow have said as well. And so I believe like this feeling of well-being, of feeling well, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, is because I've been having cold showers every single day. But I think for me, importantly, is what I shared before, is it's a reminder to me every single day before I start my day that I can do difficult things. I can do hard things. I can do things. I can survive uncomfortability and I will be okay. And that uncomfortability is a sign that I'm going in the direction of growth, because there is so many rainbows on the other side of that too. So that's what I've been doing for the last 90 days. And I encourage you to have a cold shower. if you want to start off like me, do that. Have a hot shower or warm shower first. Enjoy that. And then quickly put on the cold water and switch. And you will start to feel the warmth. It won't be like an immediate shock, but you will feel like the warmth release from your body over a couple of seconds. And then all of a sudden the cold water will hit your body. And I think that's much more of a gentler introduction to cold plunges, ice plunges, cold baths, ice baths, you know, whatever, the whole lot. And it feels good. You know, like, I think the thing is, like, you get to do this your way. I think the main thing is that you're doing it and you don't have to go fully into it, right? Yeah. So now that I feel okay with that, I think for me, the next step is having a cold shower straight away. I was actually thinking about it this morning. Like, I think I'm ready for like a fully cold shower. Like, we can take it into a step, but we need to do it. Like, for me, playing full out is starting. And then from there, we can ask ourselves, okay, what does playing full out now look like? Okay, well, having a cold shower. And now what does that look like? Might be having an ice bath, you know? Yeah, sometimes I think that if we just jump to the ice bath, then our brain is like, yeah. I mean, for some people, it's fine. I guess they can do it. And I'm trying not to really be really self-critical of myself right now. But I think to realize how I'm sitting, because I'm slouched. I should sit up straight. Just feeling a bit tired. Yeah, but I know why I'm feeling tired, because of all the emotional work that I've been doing the last 7 days. And I've had 15, 16, 18-hour days for the last 7 days, and my body's feeling really tired. So what does it need? It needs a cold plunge or an ice bath or something along those lines. Even though I had an ice bath in the morning. See, I can't even talk properly. So I encourage you to think about something that you can do and to explore exposure therapy, and think about one thing that you can do to remind yourself that you have the resources, the strategies to be able to do what you want to do in life. And that means that at the beginning or parts of it are going to feel uncomfortable, and that's okay too. I hope that serves you today. I'd love to hear what you think. But like I put in the description below, if you've got any hate comments and nothing positive to say, like constructively, then don't say it all. Save your energy. Focus on yourself. Okay? Much love. Bye.